Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you are doing well. Seems we have to do a little bit of an update, a part two to our last video, which was in reaction to the DaBaby situation, everything that unfolded as a result of his Rolling Loud performance, where he burned a few bridges with Megan Thee Stallion, the LGBTQ community, and then the fallout to come after that. He continued to burn bridges with just about everybody and anybody who voiced any kind of criticism. His responses initially to these criticisms were very negative, very stubborn, and very much the attitude of, I don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks, I don't know who Questlove is, so on and so forth. It seemed very much at the end of that day that Lil Baby just didn't really care what anybody else thinks. But then following that, he was dropped from the Lollapalooza lineup, and not too long after that, he was cut from the Day in Vegas and Governor's Ball lineups, and lo and behold, he now seems to give a shit what people think. With a statement in front of a dark background, we have white lettering, so you know it's really serious, and I'm sure his PR team was sweating over this one for a little bit. We have social media moves so fast that people want to demolish you before you even have the opportunity to grow, educate, and learn from your mistakes. Well, hold up, time. I feel like we have to demystify a few assumptions made here, and by a lot of people who've been supporting DaBaby over the past 48 hours. One, this is far from the first public incident of like misogyny or fighting or any host of other things that people have taken issue with in regards to DaBaby. But prior, these headlines and these comments were not removing him from festival lineups. So I guess that is what is the difference maker here. He's had plenty of times for people to, you know, on the outside be commenting on what he's doing, asking for him to just take a better path, go in a better direction. We still want to hear your music. We're still fans of what you do artistically, but you know, we'd like you to change course just a little bit. And it's not like he didn't have an opportunity to change his direction in response to the initial backlash to the Megan Thee Stallion stuff at Rolling Loud, to the homophobia stuff in Rolling Loud. Keep in mind, this was his initial response over here. I tell fans to put a cell phone light in the air and y'all start a million-man march. Well, nobody took issue with you telling people to put a cell phone light in the air. I told you that y'all digested that wrong, but I ain't gonna lie, I'm impressed. Now show the same amount of support when a racist cop kills one of our black ass, you not. Well, number one, we had unprecedented, huge, large, historically gigantic protests all about police brutality just this past year. A lot of people are like tuned into this issue. Are we really going to create some kind of black struggle versus homosexual struggle issue dichotomy here? Like, it's not one versus the other. Like, it's not like one's issue becomes better or more cared about or so on and so forth at the sacrifice of the other. That's not how it works. So it's not a great look taking these issues and putting them as if they're in opposition to each other or something. As I was saying, there have been opportunities for DaBaby to respond to issues like this and criticisms like this and just have a more measured approach. But we didn't get that. So I'm not really crazy with this first sentence, not only because is it a false depiction of what's going on here, but it also puts the blame for all of this on the people who reacted to his comments, not on his comments, not on anything else that has to do with him, not his comments post the comments. It's the internet and it's people reacting that is really like the issue, and people not being patient with him, despite the fact that people have been fucking patient. So he says, I want to apologize to the LGBTQ community for the hurtful and triggering comments I made. Again, I apologize for my misinformed comments about HIV/AIDS, and I know education on this is important. Love to all. God bless. DaBaby. Now, some people have pointed out, and rightfully so, that Lollapalooza replaced DaBaby with Young Thug, and Young Thug has also made commentary in the past that is quite transphobic. And look, I know that's horrible. I know that's not great. I know in a sense that's hypocritical, and it's a bad look. I'm also not really happy that Young Thug, I don't think at any point has really answered for those comments. What you're seeing there is the corporate response, and the corporate response is going to be what it's going to be. These corporations are not ethical. They're not moral. Every decision they make by nature is going to be as a result of their bottom line. And given DaBaby's comments and attitude that came after those comments, I'm sure none of them want him on their stages saying that shit again, or basically using his festival slot as some kind of like pulpit to rant against everybody and anybody who is, calling out those comments. I feel like if we're just kind of putting all of our hopes and dreams into the corporate response, it's easy to get cynical and not care and feel like all of this is stupid. Ultimately, what matters and what I think is significant here is that your average person is caring and is concerned enough to think that these types of statements are not really cool to be making on a festival stage, in your music, just generally using your platform as an artist that has a large audience. Keep that shit out of here. Put it in the trash. It's not necessary. And it's unfortunate and it's ugly and it's terrible that it all had to play out in this way. But as I said in my last video, we have to close the door on this homophobic shit at some point. And if this is the point where we're kind of shutting the door on it a little bit, and there is a more widespread rejection of these tones and these kinds of feelings and this kind of point of view being aired out publicly, just casually, as if it's really funny to just bash on gay people, that's fine. To me, the guy whose songs mostly all sound the same, he can be collateral damage in that, I guess. But that's not to overemphasize the results of what's happening here. I mean, I hope this leads to a tone change, but in a month, 2 months, DaBaby is still going to be there with his career, doing his thing. He's not going anywhere, I don't think. So yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Let me know yours down in the comments. You're the best. Over here next to my head is that video I mentioned earlier. We'll see you in the next one. Anthony Fantano, forever.